So today I just wanted to show you a really quick project idea if you're a sewer, and it's a really easy tote bag, and it's right here, and then it looks a little fancier than the ones you might make because this is a really nice damask, but this tote bag is lined on the inside and it has a little pocket too, and it's a really great gift idea. It's a really nice thing to make if you want to maybe embellish with your you-do, and it's really simple to make. So I'm just gonna fold this up really fast and just put this out of the way. So the first thing you need is some fabric, and I have about 1.25 yards of fabric here, and I have two different kinds. I have a damask, and then nestled right inside as the lining I have a cotton, and it corresponds with the color. And all I did was I folded the damask in half, and in the fold I placed a fold of fabric, so you can see there's 4 layers total here, and that's kind of important. So then you just take this and you lay it out all nice on a protective cutting board. And you take one of these great grids, and it's a huge ruler, but this makes a perfect tote bag size. So all you do is you lay this out and you make sure that your fabric is lined up perfectly so you get all 4 pieces that you want. And this will make a 20 by 20 inch square with, it looks like, a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So just cut along. And I'm using a rotary cutter, and it is a great tool to cut multiple layers of fabrics. And you can see it just cut that right off. So you can take that, and then from your excess fabric, I'll just get this out of the way right here, you can cut a pocket. And this is about a 10-inch square that has been cut on the fold. And the size is really not important for this, but what you're going to do is take this and make sure it's folded, and you'll fold one side down, about halfway, and then you'll take it and flip it over and pin a little seam. And you'll do that on the other side as well. And this is just creating the pocket. And like I said, the seam length, it's not really important here. It looks like I've got about a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this aside. I don't need it just yet. And next I'm gonna take away my huge ruler, I love that thing, and make sure that my fabric is going the right direction that I want, and I think I need to flip it over. And I'm just going to pin one set of the sides. Okay, now I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to set up my my ironing station. I'm going to set my iron to the lowest setting you possibly can, and that's nylon/acrylic for mine. I'm just going to take out my little ironing pad. It's brand new. I hope it works. We're going to try it out today. I'll take this and go right over to my sewing machine. Oh, and I also wanted to point out, I did this in advance, you want to cut 2 strips of fabric, and this is 26 by 5 inches. And all I did was I took this other great ruler, and I just used the width as a guide, and it was 4 inches, and I measured 26 inches down, and I cut it out just like I did the square for the tote bag. It was really easy. I didn't have enough room to do it in front of the camera, but I'm just going to take this over here right to my sewing machine, get my iron out of the way, and all I'm going to do is just sew this up with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to set my needle down, and I always take out my pins as I go. And then you could do a little locking stitch or a back stitch. Then cut your threads. Okay, then next we're going to press this out. It's a little awkward. But anyways, so all of your pins are removed at this point, and if you want to just trim this up a little bit, you can, just to make it so this is going to be a French seam. So if you want to just trim it nice, it'll make a very nice seam. Okay, so then the next thing you do is you open up the bag, and you'll have this beautiful thing. So you just flip it inside out, And here is your seam. And what you do is you take with your fingers and you just kind of work it so that you work the seam up into the fabric. And you can do it, you can push it out with your finger from behind, but if you work it forward with your fingers. Okay, and then you're just going to press this down. Okay, so then you're just going to go and stitch this up. And you don't need any pins here because you've already ironed it. And I'm going to just use the presser foot as a guide, and I will push this down, set my needle in, do a locking stitch at the beginning of my seam, and just sew it up. Okay, now just do a locking stitch at the end, and cut your threads. And now we just move on to the other side. So you fold this back out. And you meet up your ends. You fold this over. You can give it a little wave to settle everything all nice and bring all of your fabric edges together, and you'll just pin this up, and you're just going to pretty much repeat what you did on the other side. Okay, so just take this over your machine and sew it up. Trim away all these excess threads because they could snag in the machine, they could pull the fabric while you're sewing, they could do all sorts of things you don't want to do. Want to have happen, I should say. So just get rid of them. They are a pain. They are your enemy at this point. So now you'll just flip your bag inside out. See how nice that seam is? No raw edges. You're going to do the same thing to this side. Okay, and then just take this over your machine and sew it up. And again, I'm using my presser foot as a guide. So now what we're going to do is determine which way we want our bag to face. And you can do that just by looking at the fabric really fast. So I want this to be the bottom. So I'll just keep my fingers on it and pin it up, because all you have to do for the bottom is really just sew it together. Alright, so just sew it up. And for this bottom seam, I'm also going to use the presser foot as a guide. I'm going to change my stitch to a triple straight stitch. And if you don't have a triple straight stitch, you can just sew over this twice with a regular straight stitch. So I'm just going to drop my needle down, do a locking stitch already set in. And the reason why I'm doing a triple straight stitch is just because it's a very strong stitch, and for a bottom of a bag, you want something really strong. Okay, so now what we're going to do with that bottom seam that we just sewn, I'm going to take some pinking shears and just trim it right up. And the pinking shears will help to inhibit any extra fraying. And I'll just finish this up nicely. Alright, so just kind of clear away any of this mess that you've made. So next what we're going to do is create the second part of the bottom of the bag. And all you have to do is put your hand inside the bag, make sure you're going into the damask layers, and you just flatten out this seam so that this seam right here and this seam right here meet up together in the middle. And they are very nicely. And what you'll do is just pin these together because you don't want to lose that. Okay, and then you'll just go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Pin it together because you don't want to lose that.